Hey everyone, Michael here, host of Climate Swings, your biweekly dose of climate career insights. Today's episode is yet again a little bit different. No guest, just me sharing some personal news and thoughts that have been on my mind lately. So I'll just go right out and say it. I'm spending the summer in Europe. I will be in 3 cities over 3 months: Barcelona in May, Madrid in June, and Berlin in July. As fun and exciting as this sounds, this isn't just a vacation, it's more like a reconnaissance mission. My husband and I are seriously considering making one of these cities our permanent home. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while or know me, you probably know that I lived in Greater China for about 12 years before moving back to the San Francisco Bay Area, where I grew up, in 2019. So the idea of living abroad is hardly new to me. I've always had something of a restless spirit, a curiosity about how life works in other places. But this particular path to Europe began taking shape in 2023 when I obtained Polish citizenship through my grandparents. They were Polish Jewish refugees who fled during the Holocaust, and through Poland's citizenship restoration program, I was able to reclaim this part of my heritage. At the time, it felt meaningful, of course, especially since Poland is a core part of the European Union, but mostly symbolic. Then, of course, November 2024 happened. Let me be clear. The re-election of Donald Trump was not the sole catalyst for this decision, but it certainly turned the dial from someday maybe to let's make a plan. This isn't to say that my day-to-day life here under the Trump regime is terrible. I'm fortunate in that I'm not running from immediate danger or shipped off to some horrible prison in Latin America. But I do find myself questioning things I once took for granted about this country. Here's what I keep coming back to. What exactly are we holding on to here? What even makes America special anymore? Our history and culture? Compared to Europe, we're a cultural kindergarten. Our shared values and norms? They're being shredded daily as the administration dismantles precedent and ignores constitutional guardrails with head spinning speed. Our economic supremacy? The recent tariff chaos has sent markets into a tailspin, erasing that claim too. It really feels like we're watching the systematic dismantling of what has made America matter on the world stage. This tragedy isn't that we're losing these things, it's that we're giving them away. Trading them for what exactly? And then, of course, there's the climate angle, which, as you all know, is central to the work I do here on Climate Swings. It's undeniable, I'm sure everyone knows it, that with Trump's reelection, the center of gravity for meaningful climate action has shifted away from the United States. Europe is definitely picking up much of the mantle. Their climate ambitions aren't just stronger, they're more consistent and grounded in a genuine social consensus. While America plays political ping pong with climate policy, the EU has been methodically building frameworks, setting targets, and hitting milestones. Their Green Deal is hardly perfect, and sometimes the continent's policymakers do overreach, but it represents a serious, sustained commitment. Meanwhile, here in America, we can't seem to stop relitigating whether climate change even exists every 4 to 8 years. Europe's climate commitment is playing out on the ground too. Its cities are reimagining urban spaces to be less car dependent and more pedestrian friendly. The energy transition there is really happening at remarkable speed. And perhaps most importantly, climate action isn't seen as a partisan issue, or at least not nearly as partisan as it is here, but as a shared responsibility. In this vacuum of American leadership, Europe has really stepped up. As someone dedicated to climate work, I want to be where the momentum is. So, look, I'm not claiming Europe is a utopia. Every place has its problems. But at this moment in history, the trajectory clearly matters. And I'm growing increasingly convinced that my energy, my work, and my life might very well have greater impact and meaning there. So, right now, I'm just giving it a test run: 3 months, 3 cities. If you happen to be physically in Barcelona in May, Madrid in June, or Berlin in July, please reach out. I'd love to meet up, grab coffee, and hear about your experiences. And of course, climate swings will continue. In fact, I'm lining up some fascinating European climate leaders to interview while I'm there. And I do hope to document some of my experiences on the continent through this podcast, on my LinkedIn. Hopefully, the perspectives of the people I meet there and the people that I talk to can help me and us all understand what's possible when a society really does commit to transformation. So that's my news. A big change is brewing, and a big question is being asked: where do I belong in this moment? I don't have all the answers yet, but I am really excited to find out. So until next time, this is Michael from Climate Swings. Thank you for listening, and catch you next week with another interview at the front lines of climate careers. Take care.